Alice Kytler was the first woman ever to be condemned of witchcraft in Ireland, leading to the first case of a woman being burned at the stake for witchcraft. But it wasn't Alice. Hello, I'm Sinead from the Poisoner's Cabinet podcast. Dame Alice was living in Kilkenny in Ireland in 1324 when she would be accused of witchcraft. Her crimes? Well, mainly having too many husbands. She had been married 4 times and all of them had reportedly died suddenly, leaving Alice and her children in quite a nice financial position. However, the families of her departed husbands decided that she had had a hand in their demise and she really shouldn't be having all that money to herself. So her former in-laws bring charges of witchcraft to the Bishop of Ossory, Richard de la Dread. She is accused of conversing with the devil, having relations with the devil, denying the church, making potions, meeting devils and demons at midnight and doing all sorts of things with them. And murder, they'll throw in some murder as well. Looking back on the cases, it is entirely possible that Alice may have helped her husbands along to an early grave. Her 4th husband in particular seemed to show signs of potential arsenic poisoning. But if history has taught us nothing, it is to take any evidence submitted against a woman in a witch trial with a pinch of salt. The Bishop of Ossory is only too happy to press forward. He is known as the scourge of heresy and witchcraft. Now, this is quite an interesting time for witchcraft in history because only a few years prior, witchcraft would not have been considered a major crime, certainly not in the ways it would be dealt with in the centuries to come. But the new Pope, John XXII, feels particularly strongly about witchcraft and wants it suppressed. But it wasn't plain sailing. It would take months and months of hard work of the bishop battling with the Lord Chancellor of Ireland, back and forth, demanding that this trial would take place. And in the meantime, Alice left. Dame Alice would flee to England before the trial took place. She was never seen again, but that's not going to stop people who really want to mess up women. The bishop decides if he can't convict Alice, he'll just convict some of her alleged helpers. In the end, it was one of Alice's servants, Petronilla de Meath, who would serve the punishment in her stead. Petronilla was arrested and subjected to extensive torture in order to elicit her confession. She allegedly spoke at length of all of the things that Alice had done that she had witnessed or participated in, such as making love and hate potions using the blood and intestines of cockerels, black worms, scorpions, the buttock hair of an unbaptized boy, and the skull of an executioner, all mixed up together and rubbed in places. Petronilla was forced to confess to witchcraft and heresy. She was flogged publicly and then sent to be burned at the stake. The Bishop of Ossory would continue to wage war against witchcraft across Ireland, and as we know, far worse was to come. You can listen to the full story of Dame Alice Kytler, as well as tales of other witch trials across Europe, on our podcast, The Poisoner's Cabinet.